Today we have 2 new confirmed cases of COVID-19 to report and 1 new probable case. 2 of today's cases, and those are both the confirmed cases, can be traced to a known source. One is linked to the Marist cluster in Auckland and the other linked to the Gladys Mary Rest Home in Hawke's Bay. The probable case, which is from South Canterbury, is currently under investigation. So the new national total of cases, both confirmed and probable, is 1,472. There are no additional deaths to report, and New Zealand's total number of confirmed cases is 1,124. This is the number we report to the World Health Organization, and in many instances, this is the number that many countries report as their overall total. Yesterday, there were 2,146 COVID-19 tests processed around the country, bringing the combined total to date to 126,066 tests. Again, this lower number of tests reflects the pattern we have seen, for example, over Easter, when there are public holidays. Of our cases, 1,214 are now reported as recovered. That is, they have been symptom-free for at least 48 hours, and it is at least 10 days since the onset of their symptoms. That's an increase of 34 on yesterday, and now 82% of our cases are classified as recovered. Today there are 9 people in hospital around the country, and that includes 1 person in ICU in Middlemore Hospital. And there are still currently 16 significant clusters around the country, that is, clusters of at least 10 or more people. In terms of the cases still under investigation, since the 1st of April we have just those 2 cases. I mentioned one yesterday. This is the case in Tauranga, for which there is a possible link that is still being investigated. And the other one is the one I've just announced from South Canterbury today. It's a probable case. Just a word on elimination. I want to restate the comments I made yesterday about elimination which may have caused some confusion about what this means in Alert Level 3. First of all, a reminder that we still will see cases of COVID-19 under an elimination goal. That just means that it is not completely eradicated, and you'll have heard Professor Sir David Skegg talk about the difference between elimination and eradication several weeks ago at the first meeting of the Epidemic Response Committee. To date, we have been, of course, considering elimination under Alert Level 4, and as I said yesterday, we have achieved what we set out to achieve under Alert Level 3. That means we know we have a small number of cases, and we know where those cases are coming from. We have the ability to undertake ongoing and extensive testing, and we can contact trace a significant number of cases each day. However, as you will have heard today, we still do have cases ongoing of COVID-19, and we have seen from overseas experience how quickly those numbers can rise again if we take our foot off the pedal. We have made good progress to arrive at Level 3, but we are by no means in the clear. Elimination is not a point in time. It is a sustained effort to keep it out and stamp it out over many months. It is crucial that all New Zealanders remain vigilant and follow the guidelines for Level 3, including physical distancing. And yes, like many people returning to work or back at work today, I have enjoyed a takeaway coffee. However, it is important not to congregate outside the cafes or other places or in the car parks of takeaway places like McDonald's when you see old friends. Please do maintain the physical distancing. That will be imperative in Alert Level 3. We do not want to see the sorts of rebound that we have seen in other countries. So physical distancing imperative, keep to your bubble, practice good hand hygiene, and if you are unwell, most importantly, stay away from work and from others. Finally, as I outlined yesterday, as Director General, I have issued a new order under the Health Act, which lays out the provisions for Alert Level 3. This came into effect at 11:59 last night when we moved into Alert Level 3. The information in the order is comprehensive and it outlines the functions around isolation or quarantine requirements, The permissions for essential personal movement or recreation, infection control measures that are required of all premises, the ability to close non-compliant premises, and also prohibitions on gatherings.
Welcome everyone to day one of Alert Level 3. I want to begin by stressing that at Alert Level 3 we are not out of the woods. As I have said before, it is a recovery room of sorts to assess if the incredible work that New Zealanders have done at Level 4 to break the virus's chain of transmission and prevent further community outbreak has worked. As Susie Wiles said today, there may still be some smouldering ashes out there, and they have the potential to become a wildfire again if we give them the chance. It can take from 2 to 10 days for people to have been exposed to COVID-19 to come down with symptoms. That means we wouldn't smell the smoke for a few weeks, and that could put us back where we started before the lockdown, end quote. So with more people going back to work today, we need to be even more vigilant at Level 3 to prevent any inadvertent spreading of the virus. We must continue to stay home where possible, including for work and education. Please stay regional and limit non-essential travel. And even though you can expand your bubble, keep it as small as possible and exclusive. And finally, if you're sick, stay home and contact your GP or healthline and get tested. It may feel like a minor symptom to you, but it could be a significant issue for all of us. What Level 3 does represent, however, is the move towards getting our economy moving again, to getting more New Zealanders back to work and to opening more of our businesses. Businesses restarting at Level 3 will see around 400,000 more New Zealanders back at work, taking the total to around 1 million Kiwis working. At Level 3, around 75% of the economy is operating, with key sectors like building and construction, forestry, manufacturing and contactless retail starting back up. Importantly, major infrastructure projects start up again today. Over 1,000 road and rail construction workers are back working on major projects like Transmission Gully and the CRL in Auckland. However, we also know that the lockdown has displaced many workers, and there is real need for jobs in our community. The government, we will do all we can to ensure we fight the economic impacts of the virus in the same way we did the health threat, with unity, with fast support, by looking after one another. I'm joined here today by Minister for Social Development, Carmel Sepuloni, who will have more to say on further measures we have put in place to support workers and businesses, including an online job platform to keep workers and companies connected, extra employment centres, and agreement with industry on providing rapid micro-credentials for people needing to retain. I'll hand over to Minister Sepuloni.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. Over the last few weeks, we have paid out $10.46 billion worth of wage subsidies to keep 1,694,281 New Zealanders in work and connected to their employers. It's been a huge task to implement, but also a satisfying one. The feedback from employers and employees has been overwhelmingly positive, but we still have work to do. As a government, we need to continue to be responsive to the evolving situation in response to the impacts of COVID-19. We know that a big part of keeping people connected is about keeping New Zealand working. Even before lockdown, our government had developed and launched our employment strategy in August of last year, and I acknowledge our Minister for Employment, Willie Jackson, for his leadership on that important work. And part of our welfare overhaul was seeing MSD ramping up employment-related focus. Last year, we boosted MSD's work-focused case managers by 263 and invested significantly in programs that support both employment and upskilling and training like mana and mahi. Before New Zealanders went into Alert Level 4, the government worked quickly to stand up rapid response teams from MSD across the country to work in regions immediately affected, regions like Tairāwhiti. These teams have been helping to connect people out of work up with employers in some of our most hard-hit sectors. Under Alert Level 4, MSD continued to place people into work over the phone, including supporting the redeployment of people to essential services. This work has made a difference for many New Zealanders, and we're still poised to respond in earnest. As a result of the impacts of COVID-19, unemployment will rise before it improves. We need to continue to act quickly to keep New Zealand working. That's why we're announcing today a suite of Keep New Zealand Working employment service initiatives to support those who may be out of work or at risk of losing their job. These will be delivered through MSD so that we can effectively engage with more New Zealanders in this unprecedented time. The Keep New Zealand Working online job platform is now live. It connects job seekers, any job seeker, directly to the employer, making it quicker and easier for people to find work. It also provides training courses for those looking to upskill. You can access it via the Work and Income site. We will also have 35 new employment centres across the country. Through these employment centres, MSD staff will work with employers and job seekers under level 3 over the phone and online to match up employment opportunities. This will expand to face-to-face engagements with clients and employers and providers under level 2. We are implementing other services which will fast-track those people that need to re-engage quickly with the job market, and a specific service for those directly impacted by COVID-19 who are not on main benefit. These initiatives are key to supporting New Zealanders during a time when rising unemployment due to COVID-19 is a global phenomenon. We're already seeing dramatic increases in unemployment in countries around the world like Australia and the UK, and New Zealand has not escaped this reality. Finally, I'd like to say we administered the wage subsidy for 1.6 million workers successfully over 4 weeks of lockdown by working hard and being adaptable. We will deliver our employment efforts with the same dedication and resilience to keep New Zealand working.